So what are we talking about today? We are here on this webinar today to talk about sales success and sales success strategies in uncertain times. Right now we're in, and so Rod Hairston will be joining at 3:15. Before that, I'm going to introduce what's going on a little bit here, and then also talk a little bit and kind of pre-frame what Rod is going to be talking about. Rod, the billionaire whisperer, he's been in leadership coaching since '94, and he has helped many leaders, starting out even as a sales leader within an organization, grow massively to running their own organizations, billion-dollar organizations in many examples. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Rod Hairston is going to be jumping on in about 13 minutes. So before Rod joins, I am going to talk a little bit about our programs, just so you know kind of what Rod is referencing and these type of things. So I'm going to go through a few different things real quick, really to line up and get prepped for Rod. So we're going to talk a little bit about the before Rod comes on, which is going to be in about 13 minutes. I'm going to talk a little bit about the CPSL, the Certified Professional Sales Leader Program, our leadership program, and Sales Mastery, just to kind of get you guys going here. And then we've got some special promo bundles related to kind of this time that we're going through right now. So first of all, how is the National Association of Sales Professionals supporting you at a complimentary level, right? If you're on this webinar, you most likely have our complimentary membership. If not, go to NASP.com right now and join, and take advantage of our seller style assessment, which is also extremely relevant in leadership, because my selling culture, my selling behavior is similar to how I'm going to lead, my leadership behavior. And also take advantage of our daily sales success program. This is our complimentary daily habit building program that if you go to your profile page, my profile home, and in fact, let me add that link to the webinar chat here, you can enroll in the daily sales success program, get a feel for it, and also for the sales leaders on the line, set your sales professionals up with the program. So that's the link to get to the daily sales success program. And then of course, many people on the line are already certified, and then many other people on the line also are in our sales mastery program. So this is our premium elite membership. This is with live weekly coaching with Rod Hairston. And of course, the certifications are a 45-day program that you must successfully complete before being qualified to be in sales mastery, because as a mastermind group, we want to make sure that we are very conscious of the commitment of the people in that program. So let's talk a little bit about let's pre-frame a little bit about what Rod is going to talk about when he jumps on here in 10 minutes. So first of all, very relevant to our times right now, we have to be highly vigilant and focused on what is in our circle of control and taking action in our circle of control, and letting the kind of the more external, our circle of influence, not have that much of an impact on our internal certainty at the moment. Right now, there is insane uncertainty in the outside world. So question for you guys, what is in your circle of control? What is in your circle of control? Right now is a time, especially as a leader, when I want to be extremely aware of what is in my circle of influence, what is in my circle of control. Type it in the chat, what would be in my circle of control? I know some of you have seen this model before. So what is in my circle of control is Sylvester, exactly. What I can do with my time and the parameters set. The circle of control is what I can do, my actions, product development. Yeah, that's in your, so well, depending on how you're involved with your business, right? That could be in your circle of control, or if it's happening outside someone else, it could be in your circle of influence. So circle of influence is external. So right now is a time where it is incredibly important that we focus on our circle of control, what we are doing. And the most important thing as leaders for us to do for our teams is to build our internal certainty, confidence, congruence, and belief. Because one of the core things that our teams are looking for from us as leaders is certainty, belief, that confidence, basically the emotional aspects of leadership. People take action for emotional reasons and justify with logic. People buy for emotional reasons and justify with logic. So people on our team are taking actions and performing for emotional reasons and justifying with logic. It is our job to provide that core emotional certainty that our team can kind of rest upon and take action on that. That is our core job as leaders. How do we do that? Well, quite simply, there's three aspects to our emotional state, and we want to create that confidence, that congruency, and have an emotional transference onto our sales professionals, right? So focus, what am I focusing on? Is it success or is it kind of fear and crisis? Where is my focus going? Where focus goes, energy flows. My self-talk, what am I kind of repetitively telling myself throughout the day? Oftentimes we can heavily impact this by reading vision, goals, outcomes in the morning. And of course, our physical expression, how we're physically holding our body is determining the type of endorphins that are being released in our brains, which is determining our emotional state, ultimately our attitude. So now is the time, during this complete external uncertainty, the most there's ever been, at least in the last decade. Now is the time to invest in your unconscious mind, invest in your mental, emotional muscle so that you can provide the emotional stability for your sales team. And of course, ask any questions as I'm going through this. Rod will be joining live in about 6 minutes here. And this is how we have influence. We have influence because we've taken care of ourselves first. We've created our visions. We've been intentional about our emotional state. And this is how we have influence now on our team, the outside world, the external. So we'll go into this potentially a bit later, but this is our 6-step process that we go through in our certification programs to really focus on building that internal certainty, that internal vision, that internal identity of who we are that we're describing. Great stuff, but I can't keep up with my note taking. Yes, everyone will get the recording. So don't worry about taking notes because the recording will come out absolutely by tomorrow, potentially tonight. And also in terms of our sales mastery program, every month we go through a visioning, result creating, and then kind of a revamping of our purpose, and then roles and responses modules. We do this every month in sales mastery. And we go through our 6 themes in sales mastery. Ultimately, as sales leaders, it is our job to create the belief, the confidence, and the certainty within ourselves, within our circle of control, within our unconscious mind, within our identity, so that we can have belief transference onto our team. And belief transference is what creates and gives capability. Like that's where once our sales professionals have the belief, right, through belief transference, that's when we unlock their capability. We are their support system of belief, unlocking our team's capability, which gives them access, like mental access to strategies that are going to work powerfully for them, ultimately delivering the results. Very important aspects. Now, what I'm going to do now is we've got 5 minutes before Rod Hairston is joining. Welcome, Michelle. How are you doing? Michelle is one of our team members at the National Association of Sales Professionals, Director of Global Sales for the globe. All right, so let's jump into, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to break down the value. We've got Rod coming on in about 4 minutes here. I'm going to break down the actual value in our leadership program and our mastery program, and then Rod's going to jump in. So I'm going to fly through all this real quick. And I'm going to talk, I was just breaking this down and I was looking at the true value in our program. So in our leadership program, our 45-day conditioning program, this is where we build your unconscious identity to a much deeper and more congruent and more powerful level. And we do this by going through 45 days of consecutive training 45 days of consecutive training modules. This means 45 days consecutively, you'll be going into the program and rewiring essentially your neural pathways, creating new habits of unconscious thinking around your identity, and truly leveraging neuroplasticity to grow your leadership to the next level. We price this at $506 training videos with leadership master trainer Rod Hairston, priced at $1,000, 7 live 1-hour advising calls with our certified advisors at $700, a complimentary month of sales mastery, which includes another 4 hours with Rod Hairston live, another 8 twice a week coaching calls with our certified advisors, in addition to the weekly modules. And the total investment if we add up the value, we're many thousands of dollars. The total investment to enroll in this program right now, only $700. So just wanted to share that with you real quick. I know we get a lot of questions about what is the certification, what does it consist of, and these types of things. So just to run through that quick, we'll touch on this more at the end after Rod speaks. We'll have plenty of time to answer questions and that type of thing. And then just to touch on the same idea for sales mastery. So sales mastery, an amazing place for leaders. This is our premium elite mastermind. In sales mastery, we have 12 months of weekly 1-hour live group coaching calls with Rod Hairston, valued at $20,000. A 1 month one-on-one coaching program with Rod is about $10,000. 12 months of twice per week 1-hour live group coaching calls with our certified accountability advisors. That's myself, Michelle, who you can see on the call here, and John Oliver. And additionally, 12 months of weekly module trainings. I mean, we're at an insane level of value, and you can enroll in this program only once you've successfully become certified at just $99 a month, or even bundle it annually for $800. So just to break this down before we get Rod Hairston joining the call, all right, and feel free to submit any questions that are coming up for you on these programs. Okay, let's jump back to this screen, and we do have a question that came in. If you are both a sales leader and a salesperson, what program do you feel is best to go through? Do you have a hybrid price if you want to do both? Yes, we have some special bundles where we're adding even more value, which I'll go through at the end of the program. I'd recommend going through the sales professional program first, then the sales leader, so then you're prepared to put your sales team through the sales professional because you've already gone through it once, and it is a bit of an emotional journey that you need to experience yourself to really truly be able to coach people through. We also have John Oliver on the call here. Let's get you in. And we'll have Rod Hairston joining in 1 minute. And we're going to really jump into sales leadership strategies and how to really have successful sales leadership in this environment where there's complete external uncertainty. Most of our sales professionals are working from home. They're in a completely different environment. I'm used to leading my team in the office. Now they're gone. All kinds of crazy things are going on with my clients. And how do I lead in this environment? That is what Rod is going to jump into today. All right, 3:15, and we have Rod on the line. Let me patch him through here. Let's see if, there we go. And Rod, are you hearing us?
I hear you great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. And I will
awesome.
Let you take it away, sir.
I'm here in Austin, Texas, staying safe, and I hope you guys are too. And thank you for joining us today. I want us to really be careful with the word strategy when leading in uncertain times. Remember, we really want to really focus more on the emotions that you play. And I guess you could tie that into strategy as well. But again, this has to be less tactical, less magician-like, and more authentic. And so the way you do that, I want to go over 4 steps today to really support you leaders and future leaders, and really people in leading yourself, if that's what you need to do during these times, right? In times like this, it's really easy for people to think they're being more confident and certain than they're really being, right? Because again, we're used to pretending. And I want us all to be careful about that. And how are you careful with that? Well, I want you to intentionally do a self-check on your belief. So the first thing I do before I got to go present to my team, right? And some really interesting things happening. We got a lot of companies. We have one organization that we're supporting, and it's international, and we're leading that organization right now, and everybody's afraid. And a lot of times I'll take on some of that fear without realizing it. So this morning, I want to use myself as a guinea pig here. First thing I did is I went in and I looked at it and I calibrated, and I got really authentic and real with myself around my belief system. So I started, and that's like the essence of vulnerability. Vulnerability is power. And the first person you want to be vulnerable with is yourself, right? Because now you can start from that place. And then once I'm vulnerable with myself, it's like, it's easy now for me to truly focus on other people, focus on my team. So I wanted to, I went from what am I really feeling now? What am I really believing right now? And what do I need to believe? What do I need to believe to convey to this team that we're going to get through this, that everything is going to be okay? To focus on the things that we can control and that we are responsible for, not the things that we're not controlling and not responsible for. So that first step was really evaluating and going deep in that vulnerability and saying, what do I really believe right now? And what do I need to believe to be a leader that the people need right now that is going to offer value to this team? Okay, that's step number one. So I started thinking about, I need to believe that we've gone through tougher times. I need to believe that this too shall pass. I need to believe that when you go through times like this, you always come out strong on the other side if you persist and if you're intelligent and if we all stick together, right? And those are just examples. But what that did is that got me going, and that helped me transfer emotion versus words, okay? Remember, 55% of my communication is my body language, 38% is my tone. That only leaves 7% in words. And right now, people are focused way too much on words and not the emotion that they're conveying as leaders, okay? Number two, I want to deliver the confidence. I want to make sure that, and it's authentic. The number one thing people need right now is your confidence / certainty, because they feel uncertain. And that's a leader's job. We bridge the gap over uncertainty, okay? So when a lot of people on a team look for certainty, they go back to old patterns, they go back to smallness sometimes, they go back to disbelief, they go back to insecurity. That's not going to serve us right now, right? Where we need people to be is the opposite of those things in this time. So the way you get them there, right, as the leader, is you show up that way and you communicate that way. And most importantly, you feel and see the confidence in them. They need you to believe in them. And what is the definition of belief? Belief, the definition is a feeling of certainty about something. So if I want people, and that's the number one need that people want right now than any other need in the world. So if I want you to feel certain about you and you don't, then I have to do it with more conviction and more energy than you see it in yourself. Very important that we understand that, leaders. And guys, you guys know you do this anyway, right? You know you do this anyway. The men and women on this call, all I'm saying is what you do, but you might not do it as consistently, or you might not have a checklist around the emotional intelligence that we bring forward as leaders. Very important. So I got to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. I have to see it in you. I have to be intentional with that. So when you look at your people, when you're communicating with your people, how you're conveying anything has to have more belief in them and in this situation than they have in themselves. Number three is you have to remember to maintain rapport. A lot of times we'll get so intense in situations like this and become drivers and now we got all of this reason to be urgent, right? Now we got all of this reason to drop the hammer, right? Because we got Corona. We can be jerks because Corona's out there. We can do all of that. We got to be careful with that. Be careful with that. Really, really understand that this is the new normal. new normal. And it's so important for us after we do that self-belief check and develop that intrapersonal beliefs about us. And then we turn it around and take all of that power and we turn it into confidence and certainty and belief in them. And we give it to them. The third thing we want to do is make sure that we keep rapport. Don't assume rapport. Let everybody know how much you care about them and be genuine about it, right? Let people know that you care. That's equally important to certainty. In fact, after certainty is met, after I help a person really find their inner strength, then it's going to be important that I maintain that rapport. I let them know I care. I let them know that there's love here, that there's warmth, that there's compassion, that there's concern, that there's bonding. You are on my team. You're in my family. I care about you. It's very important right now that we all care. We genuinely care, okay? And because again, people might pretend they don't need it. They all need it. We all need it at a very, very high level. I can just remember sometimes, consulting a lot of CEOs, and it would just be like, Rod, that's all that soft stuff. They're here to do a job. Then they couldn't understand what walking around, they're here to do a job. They couldn't understand why their high turnover was so high. They couldn't understand why the good people would leave. They couldn't understand why people just didn't like them. And then they had to walk around really being hurt by that and pretend it didn't bother them. You don't have to do any of those things. Just freaking have a little rapport. It doesn't mean you got to gush love all over people. It just simply means care. That won't hurt you, I promise you. Care. That right? People feel it from you. Care. Write a note. Send a letter. Tell people you care about them. Really care about you guys, and I really want you to be healthy just because I want you to be, right? It doesn't take that long just to get yourself to that level of vulnerability to just care. People need it right now, guys. Remember, this is not about style. This is all about substance. And right now, leaders need to focus on a substance that's needed for people to get through this. That's what leadership is all about. And then number 4, guys, is that you want to create a compelling future for people to get through this, right? What do I mean? Really have people think about who they're going to be coming out of this. Where are we going to be as a team? Where are we going to be as a company? Who are you going to be as an individual? I can tell you what type of leader I'm going to be coming out of this. I got one more reference notch on my belt to develop the confidence and the references and the identity and the courage that I need to go to the next level. I did this in Spec War, I did this in some of the places I grew up, but now I got a really big one, guys. I'm gonna make it through this, and I'm gonna come out being more valuable to the world, more courageous, more confident, smarter, right? Tough, more grateful. This is who I'm gonna be when I come out of this. And who are you gonna be? Where are we gonna celebrate? Where are we going to celebrate who we've become? Because in a situation like this, you either come out worse off or better off. There's no in between. There is no neutral. So challenge your team to really focus on a compelling future. Not only that, it helps them health-wise. It takes away the stress. It continues to really stimulate the frontal lobes, the neocortex, that thinks future. That's so important for your organization, so important for your team. So really remember the 4 steps. Really get associated to the belief you have in you. Transfer that belief through confidence, number 2, to your people through certainty. Number 3, remember, do not assume rapport. Even if you've known somebody for 15 years, all of the people around you, tell them how much you care. Tell them how much compassion you have, the concern that you have for them individually, right? Or even if you do it as a group, see each person individually in the eye contact that you have. And then number 4, create a compelling future. Challenge people to think compelling, think the future, think going to the next level. Guys, those are my 4 steps. I look forward to seeing you in our community because that's how we want to be for you, right? We want to support you in growing, going to the next level, and creating this amazing, compelling future for your business, your life, your success, mostly your identity because you're awesome. Guys, thank you so much. And I'll turn it back over to Rick.
Awesome. Thank you, Rod. Thank you for joining in, and I appreciate you for coming on and giving some of your time to sales leaders around the world as we go through this time of uncertainty. If you're in the audience and have any questions, what type of leadership challenges are you going through right now? Is there anything that we can help you with, kind of specific, situational? Please ask any questions or add any comments in the chat. With that, I would love for us to have the opportunity as questions come in to hear a little bit from John Oliver and Michelle Baker, two of our certified advisors here at the National Association of Sales Professionals. For many of you have gone through our certification programs. You know Michelle and John. Some of you are also in Sales Mastery, and you get to spend some time with us in our community. John and Michelle, would love to hear from you.
For sure.
On today's webinar.
Thanks, Rick. Well, yeah, you know, right now is an amazing time in this country that we'll probably never see again, right? And so it's 2020. That won't happen again for another 101 years, right? 21, but let alone with what's going on in the world. And what we're seeing right now is this shift where people are leading from home. People are working from home. People are in this, what we want to call maybe uncertainty. And it's an interesting time, but right now is a time to thrive. And what we've seen with just the last group that has started up with this certified professional salesperson, the certified professional sales leader involved in mastery, they're now taking themselves to another level. I had a great call last night with a gentleman out of Miami. It was almost midnight. And he was like, I need to do something now. I have the time now. And how many have we been in that situation where we haven't had the time to put the effort in? And now think about the value that Rod just gave you, but we're in an amazing time that we can take advantage of some things. We can really provide value. We can take our belief and raise it up a level. We can take our knowledge and take that up a level. We can really empower and engage ourselves to really doing more for the service that we have, the product, the belief in ourselves, as well as really just being a better person. And what I love about some of these programs, and anyone that's gone through our sales professional or sales leader certification, we're working on you. And we're giving you the tools, and we're giving you to build that ultimate dream house that you want. And it relates to sales, it relates to leadership, but it relates to your life. And I think that's one of the best things that I've seen out there, and it really fires me up that this is a great time to take advantage of.
Very well said, John. Very well said. Go ahead, Michelle.
Can you all hear me well? Yeah.
We can.
Thanks so much for having us here, Rod. Absolutely amazing. Always enjoying opportunity to hear you speak. And I love that you started with strategy because this is where strategy is failing. Everything that we've done before is not going to work now because we're in a time that never has existed and will never exist again. And what is controlling people is the fear, right? There's so much fear mongering going out there. And what I love about what we do is really empower people to be prepared for this, right? The unconscious or our emotions are, we have to see them. Like I tell people, you can't harvest what you haven't planted. And if you have not been planting in your mind a preparation for a time to be in a situation like this, or just be prepared for anything that comes with you, like Rod said, spec war, we're like in a situation similar to spec war right now. It's going to cause us to have all these employees, all of these reps that are coming at us. How do I help them? How do I help them to stay the course when I'm feeling uncertainty, when I've got my family to deal with, when I've got all of my bills, my mortgage, my car note, and then I have the same thing for a whole entire team. And that's the thing that really I enjoy the most about what we do at the National Association of Sales Professionals is we prepare leaders for themselves first and then for their team, right? So that you can feel good about who you are, where you are, and then you're able to give that back. You're able to pour that out, not just to your team, but your life. One of the things that I tell people is that we change lives one sales professional and leader at a time. We're not just here to assist you in making numbers. We're here to help you in your mindset, your habits, and your self-talk for the duration of your career, whatever that is and whatever that looks like. So if you're struggling right now, this is the place to be. It's an absolute incredible community of people who will take you exactly where you want to go be. And that compelling future that Rod mentioned, this is you're on timeout. You have a break to create it. and we're going to take you there for the next 45 days, and your life is going to be like nothing you ever imagined. And that's what we do.
Very well said, Michelle. Very well said. We had a couple of questions come in. So just so you guys know, the rest of the time that you're with us here today, after we answer these questions, I'm going to share these with Rod. After we answer these questions, I'm going to go into talking a little bit about how the programs, both our complementary programs as well as our paid opportunities, help in exactly what we're talking about today. I'm going to outline the programs. I'm going to talk about pricing. I'm going to answer all those types of questions and go into a lot of detail. I'm looking forward to doing that. Now, real quick, we had a couple of questions come in. From Joe G. What steps can you take to receive payments on existing accounts where so many are wanting forbearance, deferment, or a pass of some sort? We also had a few other questions that came in around how can I support my clients, or how can I reach clients where their physical store has shut down, their physical business has changed, yet the business is still moving and I still want to get in touch with them. And another question that came in was, what is the best leadership model that would be best to follow? So Rod, would love to hear your answer to these questions. Oh, and you're on mute.
The first questions around payment, I would just ask them, and I would frame things and really be, again, following the same steps. I really appreciate you as a client. I know these are very, very, very tough times, and I know a lot of people are deferring payments and so on. And if you're in a position, you would love to work with you on receiving some level of payment, right? Relief or the whole payment in full, ask them. It's really all you can do, and frame it. Don't run from it, just put it out there. And what that does to a person's mind is they don't get angry with you because you're not demanding it. They're asking you that if you're in a position to pay it, will you pay it? And you'll be amazed at how people will respond to that. But without asking, people are just going to take it upon themselves and probably not pay, because they'll use this as a justification. So frame it the way you framed it, maintain the compassion, ask with a lot of confidence, let them know that you recognize that most people are deferring payments and so on, and then just ask them. That's all we can really do. And ask them consistently without any level of expectation, because you don't want to keep disappointing yourself. Ask, and to be amazed. Right now, I mean, this is the way we're doing it with our clients, and our clients are continuing on simply because we're asking them, okay? What was the second question again, please, Rick?
With physical locations closing, how can I, from a sales perspective, I can't stop by their physical location anymore. How can I still kind of get in touch with my clients and have communication with clients and prospects?
Well, and this is why this community will serve that question very well, because we're offering content and solutions that could help your clients. So if you can call your clients and say, hey, I've been thinking about you. I got 3 things I want to cover with you that I think can support your company during this time. We'd love to set up a time. Right now, I'm going through this course and I'm learning some things that's super valuable, and I would love to share just a couple with you. If you got 15 minutes to get on a call, you started with that. Be valuable, guys. Even from the first question, be valuable to the people that, right? The steps you got today, a lot of these leaders could learn or benefit from those steps, right? Writing those out and sending those out. So be valuable, find content, you know more about your client, you know their personality, you know what they're like. Find some value and set up your calls around value. Bring all of your customers to Zoom or to the other sites, but Zoom, you guys know what I mean, to some level of platform and add value. Create an opportunity for them to stay connected, or create some type of bonding where they're communicating, or something that you can offer for your particular client around the products that you're delivering. What more value can you offer? And then induce that reciprocation with what people are looking for now. Because again, remember, what you were selling before, they might appreciate it, but now they don't. Right now, everybody's getting ready for the new normal. So no matter what you're selling, you're going to have to introduce ways of them dealing with the new normal proactively. And so we are going to bring the latest and greatest to you as you're going through this course so that you can reach out to your customers and share a lot of what you're getting. Okay? I promise you that. And the third question was?
What is the best leadership model to follow at this time?
NASP's leadership model, of course. That's the best model in the world. I don't really know of any other ones that compare. No offense, I think the other ones are really amazing, but ours is the best because again, it's the combination of the emotional intelligence, right? Language patterns, what to do with your body, how to take care of yourself from a biochemical perspective, like putting the right things in your body, and how to actually grow as a leader. And you're held accountable to that, held accountable to going to the next level. We remind you of your responsibility to learn and expand and what you're responsible for as a sales leader. Number 3, flexibility. We're going to show you different ways of getting to the same outcome. Number 4, capability. You would not be on this call right now if you didn't believe you were capable of a whole lot more. And then ultimately, vulnerability to make the change, vulnerability to look at where you are, and then let's build from that platform. We do this together. So our model is the best leadership model. Love you, and you guys are amazing. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, panel. Thank you, staff. Look forward to seeing all you guys in the program. You guys are amazing, and please stay healthy. You are now part of our family and team. Stay healthy, and we will find you. Well, that wouldn't be healthy. That would not be healthy either, would it? Okay, just stay healthy, please. Love you guys. See you later.
All right, thank you, Rod. So what I'm going to do now for everyone on the webinar is I'm going to go into some of the psychology behind exactly what Rod just said. So when he said our leadership model, what did he really mean? And what he meant is that our model is not simply an intellectual model. The 6 steps to leadership, the 7 steps to this, the 5 steps to that. While we do have intellectual models, going through our CPSL, our sales leadership program, is also about building your emotional quotient, your EQ. And it is going through an emotional conditioning experience that is creating, reinforcing, and growing your leadership identity, your internal certainty, confidence, and belief. And as Rod mentioned, the key aspect of leadership, especially right now, and really in all leadership, is belief transference. And in order to have a high level of belief transference, I must have at an unconscious identity level, a very deep level of internal belief. So let's jump into talking, doing a quick review on what this means, and then talking about how exactly our programs have this result. So let's go back to this model that we first looked at. We have our circle of control and our circle of influence. Our circle of control is everything that we have control over. And what do we actually have control over? Only ourselves and our own actions, right? So our circle of control is our internal world. This is our internal belief structure, confidence, congruency, and identity. Our circle of influence is everything outside of ourselves that gets the opportunity to take our level of belief and adopt it. Rod is the leader, the CEO of the National Association of Sales Professionals. He has an extremely high level of belief of the continued success of the company and vision and compelling future at a high level. And I certainly borrow some of that deep level of belief. So how do we build that internal certainty, that internal deep level of belief? How do we use psychology and conditioning to do that? We talked about the 3 elements of my emotional state, my attitude: focus, self-talk, and physical expression, and how now is the time to invest in your unconscious identity and invest in building that mental emotional muscle and ultimately your influence power. And how we do that is by going through the cycle of performance. And this is what we very intentionally take you through in the 45 days of conditioning of the Certified Professional Sales Leader program. We start out in inception. This is where we go through a very intentional system of revisioning yourself at your ultimate identity as a sales professional. We focus on communication, team building, internally motivated, externally focused leadership, and performance. In the inception stage, in the first week of the program, we vision and create and write out and condition and have repetition as well as accountability around those visions. We see our identity level of ourself at those visions. This is called our unconscious competence. We will get there. We know that there is unconscious resistance to any new identity, any new habit, any new internal growth that we go through. In our 45-day leadership program, we will intentionally bring you to inception by visioning, outcome setting, goal setting, and then we will intentionally take you through deception, where you become consciously aware of your incompetence in terms of where you're going and where you are now. So in inception, I'm unconsciously incompetent. I don't know what I don't know yet when it comes to getting to my identity. When we get to deception around week 2, 3, and 4 in the program, end of week 2, all of week 3, beginning of week 4, somewhere in there, you're going to really hit the deception. The emotional resistance to getting to your next level of identity. Someone sent me an email this morning. Within our programs, one of the things that Rod said on his videos is, when have you ever committed to doing something every day for 45 days in a row before? And he was like, I've never committed to doing something for 45 days in a row. About 10 days was the most I've ever committed to doing something. And about 10 days is right where you get to unconscious deception. So the true power in our programs is leveraging the psychology that Rod has learned in his experience in special warfare and the military, as well as being a coach for many individuals, taking them all the way up, many of them all the way up to the billion-dollar level, as he's been coaching since 1994. What this program does is walks you gently through the deception into a transformation. So walks you through that unconscious resistance to your next level of identity, and moves you into that transformation phase where I now become consciously competent, and through neuroplasticity, I am changing the way my mind is firing, my self-talk is firing to grow my level of identity, reinforce and grow my level of internal belief. That is what the 45 days of the CPSL is doing at a core level. Of course, there's a lot of steps that are layered on top of that. In fact, each week within the program is a very intentional step in our six-step process: building a vision, breaking old patterns, building new habits, understanding that we're in 3 modes of consciousness, either focus, memory, or future thought, disciplined imagination. Role modeling, understanding the primary learning mechanism of all humans, all leaders, all animals, is to model someone who has the results that we want to get, and ultimately taking risks to step outside of our comfort zone. So what I'm going to do now is break down the individual components of the Certified Professional Sales Leader, and also talk about how our mastery program is essentially a mini CPSL every month. So I'm leveling up in my identity every month. And also, have there been any questions or comments that came in? I do want to keep an eye on the chat here. And also, if you'd like to book a call with any of our certified advisors, please do click that link that I just shared in the chat. That will get you on our calendars. Technical question, Joe. I'll jump into that in a minute. Okay, so right now I'm going to break down the value of the Certified Professional Sales Leader. I did this at the beginning of the call. I'm going to do a quick review, and then I'm going to talk about the special bundles that we have available specifically for during this time. These bundles will not go away as we're in this time of great uncertainty. So again, if you're on this webinar, most likely you are a complimentary member. If you're not, be sure to go to NASP.com, sign up for your complimentary membership. Also, be sure to take your complimentary behavioral assessment to look at what is your current behavioral archetype and what is your ideal behavioral archetype. And we are currently offering, again, complimentary coaching calls around the results of your assessment. So once you take the assessment, you'll be prompted to sign up for a complimentary call. And also be sure to sign up for and leverage for your sales team our daily sales success program. This is a complimentary daily conditioning program. Many of you on the call have already gone through our certifications. If you have not, this would be your first step to qualify for our Sales Mastery ongoing identity belief conditioning program. Everyone has an unconscious vision, an unconscious identity. If you didn't intentionally create it, then it may be pushing you in one direction when really you want to go here, and aligning that is a huge part of what our programs are designed to do. Again, back to Rod saying that, he believes this model is the best model in the world. So I'm going to break down the individual components of the Certified Professional Sales Leader. So this program consists of 45 days of daily leadership training modules. So every day for 45 consecutive days, you're going to log in to the online learning portal that is the Certified Professional Sales Leader program and complete entries and activities in the areas of team building, communication, i.e. leadership, which we'll go very deep into this, internally motivated, externally focused leadership, and ultimately performance as well. In addition, there are 6 training videos, very in-depth, you got a taste of it today hearing from Rod, leadership training videos from our leadership master trainer and CEO, Rod Hairston. In addition to that, we have 7 live 1-hour advising calls with our certified advisors. And those are the 3 core components of the CPSL. In addition to that, and again, it is so important that we have these certified advisors here, as well as the team that you're going to be going through the program with, to maintain the accountability for you to stay consistent in growing your identity within the program. Very important. You also have visibility into the other participants in the program, their success, to kind of create that group accountability. People will always do more for others than they will do for themselves. People will always do more when there is intelligent accountability around their actions than they will do for themselves. In addition, there's a complimentary month of Sales Mastery with 4 1-hour live group coaching calls with Rod, 8 live group coaching calls with our certified advisors, that's 2 per week, and a weekly module training. Total value over $4,000, and we're offering this program for only $695. Very value-packed program. If we take a look at the value behind Sales Mastery, and right after this, I'm going to go into the bundle offerings where you can bundle these together. Sales Mastery consists of 12 months of every week, 1-hour live group coaching call with Rod Hairston. You got a taste of that today. His individual coaching package for a month is around $10,000. Again, Rod Hairston is the billionaire whisperer, the billionaire maker, and he is an incredibly high-level speaker as well, speaking in front of crowds of 10 and 20,000 people. Hope to be there one day myself. Additionally, for 12 months, there are 2 live 1-hour group coaching calls with our certified advisors, as well as a weekly module training. And we're offering this over $30,000 of value for only $99 a month, or if you bundle annually, $797. Now, here's the special bundle. If you have not yet taken the certification program, we are offering a bundle of 12 months of mastery, valued at $1,188, and either of the certification programs for under $1,000. This is 13 and a half months of very intentional conditioning support with accountability of building and developing and going along the path to mastery of building your internal identity and congruence so that you can truly at the highest level support the sales professionals and everyone who is on your team. If you are already certified, we are offering the 12-month Sales Mastery Bundle at only $797. I'm going to share these 2 links right now in the chat. And I would also love for John and Michelle, who speak with individuals going through our CPSP and CPSL as well as Sales Mastery program every week. John and Michelle, what would you share in addition regarding our programs? And right now I'm going to share these links to go and purchase these bundles in the chat, if you're interested in that.
Okay, can you hear me all okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would share with anyone listening to this, having been an advisor for CPSL for some time now, the one thing that we're seeing with going through COVID-19 are that the people who are currently in it, the number one thing they say every week when they're in our calls, in the CPSL advisory calls or in Sales Mastery, how glad they are to be part of the community, how prepared they are for this uncertainty, how much they've been able to help their family, their loved ones, their friends, the people that they serve, their clients, because the uncomfortable and the uncertainty is actually where we experience our creative genius. And when we are unprepared for it, we go into fear. Our mind goes into flight. And this is what we, as Rick has said, the steps of we take people through has you prepared. It's like Rod said, spec war, right? What it's basically telling you is that instead of going into fear, to use that in energy, it's one of the most heightened levels of energy we have is a state of fear, to use it to your advantage. And that's the number one thing we hear week after week, call after call, when we're talking to our clients, how much they actually enjoy the fact that they've gone through this program or are in the program currently, because they're in a space where they can have conversations where people aren't panicking and they're supporting one another in the creativity of how they can create solutions and results to keep moving forward and through. So that's what I would tell anyone listening. If that's what you want, that's what we offer.
Awesome.
Very well
Michelle.
put, Michelle.
One of the things, I'll jump right on that, I've been hearing day after day, wow, this is a perfect time. Is it? It really is. The universe puts things in your path. The reason that you've joined us today, the reason you invested your time, I commend you, is because you need to be here. We need to help you. You need to help other people as well. And so it is a perfect time. There is no other time like it. There may never be another time like this again. And that's one of the things, Rick and I, we've really been honing down with the team and looking at ways that we can provide value. What can we do to help you? What can we help you at a 10x, a 100x multiple at moving forward? Think about being around a culture of people that are like-minded, that want to level you up, that want to help you grow, as well as some of the genius that's in here. You've heard some of it say, look at Michelle, Rick, Rod. It's amazing to see what you can do when you collectively come together, put the intention behind something. 45 days. Working that mental muscle for 45 days, working to get to that BHAG, right? That big, hairy, audacious goal. But at the end of the day, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So we got to make a change. So I love it, and we're here to support you in any way we can. These are amazing. I wish, these bundles could be offered all the time.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And well said, John. Joe G, I had a quick question here. Any great free app or site for free PDF e-signing needed for no contact? This is a fantastic thought to have. In how things are changing right now, and there will, I think, in the group consciousness be forever now this idea of no contact and reducing, the spread of any kind of a virus, right? So this in itself is an opportunity. How can everything now be I got Uber Eats last night, and it was a no contact. They came to the door, dropped it off, and ran away. I got to the door pretty quickly, but they were already gone. But this is going to change a lot of kind of the group consciousness, group think of the world right now. So how can you adapt your company, your business, and add no contact to part of your product or service? I don't know, actually. I would need to do a little research. I know I've used DocuSign, and we use HubSpot right now. They're paid. HubSpot has a fantastic free CRM with a lot of functionality, but I'm not sure if that extends to document signing. But great question. I'm going to need to do a little bit of research on there because I don't know an immediate answer. Just to reshare some of the links, This link takes you to your profile page on NASP. You will need to log in first. That's where you can sign up for your seller style assessment and daily sales success program. Also, remember to leverage those complimentary resources for your team. That is thousands of dollars worth of free value, especially when you include the complimentary feedback call that we're going to put in, that we have there for you. And also, book a call with us. Talk to us. Use this link to get on one of our calendars. We'd love to talk with you about what you're experiencing right now, what your main challenges are, so that we can learn more about what everyone is going through, so that we can help, we can build in free resources and build in aspects to our program as well. So in the chat, you've got the two bundle links, a meeting link for us, as well as the link to go and take advantage of our complimentary resources at the National Association of Sales Professionals. We're about at the end of the hour, so we will be wrapping up. Any final comments or questions from anybody, please add them to the chat. We will be happy to answer. We've got about 3 minutes left before the end of the hour and all of our next meetings. So thank you again for joining, everyone. And that is it from me. It was a pleasure to hear from Rod today on really the 4 steps. Building my internal belief is the first thing I need to do as a sales leader in this environment. That allows me to have powerful belief transference to my team. Never assume rapport. I've been in many client relationships where our team just stopped. We would sit down at the conference room, get straight to business. We kind of forgot to do fun handshakes. We forgot to say, how's your life? How's family? How are things going? We just jumped straight into business and completely assumed rapport. Never assume rapport. Always reinforce asking people how they're doing. How's their family? How are things going? And really you're asking, how are you feeling emotionally? Is there anything I can do to support? Is it, and we get into the emotional needs, is it significance recognition? Is it self-esteem? Is it connection? Is it growth? Like, what do you need? How can I help you? People buy for emotional reasons and take action. People buy for emotion and justify with logic. People take action for emotion and justify with logic. And finally, talk about a compelling future. Engage that neocortex. Get away from people being in kind of that scared mindset where it's difficult to think creatively, and get into a compelling future and beyond this, the new normal, and how can I think creatively about how we add value in the future world that we're going to live in. So that's it from me. Any final comments, John or Michelle? Not from John. He said
reach out, let us know how we can support you. That's what we're here to do. Absolutely.
Yeah, basically, if
Michelle?
you stay long, it's because there's something that we've said that is triggering, and you're at that space where you know without a doubt this is something that will take you to where you want to be. You're tired of doing the things that have left you wanting and in the midst of trying to figure out, and you're ready to expand in your capabilities so that going forward, you are always ready, and that's what we offer. So we look forward to seeing you.
Very well said, Michelle. We'll definitely end on that. Have a fantastic, Mohammed says, thank you for the information provided. Our pleasure. We appreciate you for being on the webinar and being engaged. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you, everyone.